Guys, it is my privilege and honor to introduce to you our guest, Maverick. Maverick is a senior solutions and systems architect by profession, and if there is anyone in the verse that knows what he's talking about when it comes to the development of Star Citizen, it's Maverick. So, Mav, have you always been into technology, or is this just your job?
I was a geeky kid, okay, and right from my childhood, I used to rip things down, disassemble everything, fix things.
No
That's
way.
that's the kind of kid I was. So yeah, that's there in my DNA. But what I do is as my profession,
Mhm.
I design end-to-end systems and solutions. Like, let's say, for example, if the game that we are playing, okay,
Mhm.
and if you want to run this entirely on a cloud-based environment with the most optimal solutions, what are the things you can do to make this game work so
Mhm.
that people can play,
Right.
right? That's solutioning of projects or softwares or applications on cloud, end to end, literally.
Wow. That
So when CIG talks about these message broker improvements, I know what they're talking about, the queuing services and
no
things like
way.
that.
Okay, so from an expert tech background, give me your take on how Star Citizen is developing now.
It's brilliant. I mean, let me tell you, things like persistent entity streaming, things like server meshing, these are extremely difficult things to implement for real-time systems. So this is a real-time system, right, where latency is critical because let's say if you do an operation, you're seeing it immediately and the party member is seeing it after 2 or 3 seconds. It's no good, right? There should not be
Right.
lags between various people in the game, various servers. Think between these servers, they have to be millisecond or sub-millisecond base performance.
Uh-huh.
And these are very hard to implement, very, very difficult to implement. And it's no joke when CIG said it'll take us probably a year to develop this. It's really amazing when you see the tech in the in this game.
Yeah.
And as a software engineer, I can appreciate the complexity of it very much. I even checked the shaders, like the shader libraries, and I was like, wow, sync in real time.
Uh-huh.
Like when you go to a place and basically those things are not present on your system all the time. And when you travel to a place, the entire environment, that's called the world in this in CIG's term, the world gets streamed to your device or whatever device you're playing on.
Right.
Each and every object is streamed to your device in a real-time manner.
That's absolutely amazing. Very interesting. So you're saying that you think it's well done by CIG?
It's an amazing tech. Let me tell you, this is not present at the moment in any game.
You're kidding.
Not a single game has this tech at the moment.
Oh, then why are so many people upset and like mad?
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. CIG has adopted a very different way of development, right? They've been they put this game on alpha. They've been developing it for 10, 12 years now, and they're okay with it. Secondly, they're okay with it because they have money, right? They have the capital. Most game companies don't have such a budget. They want the game to be out. They want to be making money off it. They want to get the investment they have done to make this game as fast as possible so then they can move to the next game or
Right.
next project, right? But CIG's approach is different. They want this game to have everything, so many things, tech wise, game wise, gameplay experience wise, graphics, the entities, the art, the realism. They want everything. And trust me, making it all work like this takes a lot of time to develop.
So we need to be patient.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you could be patient for maybe next 2 to 3 years, this will definitely get released as a general availability. But they're not going to stop there. They're going to keep making advancements. And if I were in CIG, I would adopt a little strategy from Fortnite. Have you played Fortnite?
Just for a few minutes. I tried it.
Okay, usually Fortnite has this little surprise element every season. Like something happens. Previously, there used to be like a storyline and time warping, time travel, dimensions, etc. They had this kind of an angle to it, and suddenly something will happen in the real world, like, and it becomes like a big surprise element. And if I were in CIG, I would do something like that. Let's say this game goes live, like proper release, version 1 is going, and I won't stop there. I would add few things like suddenly there has been this nuclear explosion on this planet, half the planet is gone, or then there is a gameplay surrounding that, or rescue people from that planet.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You get it, right? Like something happening all of a sudden in the real world, in this verse, and everybody gets an opportunity to use that whatever has happened in
Yeah, but isn't that like what, like Blockade Runner and stuff, and Xenothreat?
Well, yes, but these are at a very small scale. If you see the scale, these are very small events. Like, okay, this Blockade Runner, few people can participate.
Since I've been playing this, for about a year, and I try to read some stuff here and there, and I always ask people what their opinion is about how the game is developing, and you are literally the first person who is saying that what they're doing is really good and amazing and unique, and to be patient.
Yeah, I mean, I understand people's plight as well, because there are many people who have invested hours on this, and not just hours, but they have invested a lot of money on this. And when they say, okay, they've invested on Polaris for about 2 years now, and they still don't have, all they have invested is on a JPEG, right?
Right.
I can understand their plight, because that 2 years of investment is, for them, it's an investment with no returns, right? For those 2 years. And people have to understand that this investment is what is driving the development of this game for so many years. Because in a typical scenario, the way games are developed, they have a budget. They have a fixed capital budget, which they can spend, and they are very, very tightly bound by that budget. And they cannot do anything over and above that budget. And they have a very strict timeline. Okay, this much budget, this is the timeline. We have to get to market by this time. Then within a year, we have to make this much of money, at least, so that it compensates for the amount that we spent, and we also make some profit, right? So that's the typical development process. But CIG's process is very, very different. They keep making money by ship sales, by events, by selling goodies, by selling ships. They make money. They also have investors, but the majority of the fund comes like this, right? And it takes a long time to develop all this. And it's a slow process. They don't have a lot of developers as well. They have, say, a fixed number of developers, fixed number of artists who do the artwork. And with all of this team, they have to get all that they have planned executed.
Wow. So what would you say to the people who believe it's a scam?
Well, it's definitely not a scam. I can guarantee you that, because nobody is so crazy to develop something if you see this game right now,
Mm-hmm.
right, it is quite playable.
Right.
Apart from the glitches, the bugs, but it still gives us a very good experience. And this is the outcome of years of decades of development.
Mm-hmm.
If it were a scam, they don't have to go this far to scam people. They could have done with much lesser and got away
I see.
with the money,
Yeah.
with the time, and
So
they could have just called it off.
right. So you're saying they're spending the money on the
They're
development,
spending.
and maybe
Yeah.
people don't really understand what it actually takes to develop such technology and stuff.
Yeah, if you come from a software background, if you start realizing how, let's say, you know, how volumetric clouds are being generated, how procedural planetary development, like generation, like these planets are not physical renders of anything. They are not rendered. They are dynamically rendered procedurally and generated. And how do you have a system that generates a planet scale terrain like this, say
Uh-huh.
microtech?
Uh-huh.
How do you think a software could generate a planet level terrain like this? Because a normal program, if you ask it to generate, it'll be so weird. It'll look absolutely not so real. But to bring this level of perfection, this level of detail to a whole planet,
Mm-hmm.
the the kind of software, the kind of development that goes in to procedurally generate this kind of a detail, it has to be massive for sure.
Wow. Well, that is incredibly good news. I am so happy to hear that because there's been so much hate towards CIG lately, and I was getting kind of discouraged and thinking, oh man, maybe it is gonna take forever. But you're saying this is how it's supposed to go.
Exactly. Well, I would not say this is how exactly it was supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
People are mad that this game is still in alpha state.
Okay.
It's not. I don't know if there's going to be a beta cycle. Usually, the way it's done is alpha, then it goes to beta, then there is a general release. But CIG has confirmed that after this alpha, it's going to be released like version 1.
Okay.
Right? So, if it was up to me to decide, what I would have done is probably got a release sooner. I would have got a polish cycle first to fix all these bugs. Take a break for 5 months, polish everything that you have, fix the bugs, improve the gameplay, polish everything, tune everything, and then just get release 1 outside. Just get the release 1 so that people are happy that, okay, the game's finally released officially, and then keep adding features to it.
I see. Updates, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like how our phone softwares work. Keep rolling out updates after updates or features,
Yes.
optimization.
Okay.
That way people would be less mad that this game has been in alpha for 10, 12 years already. Yeah, I mean, see, this is definitely a very, very vast scale development.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we really have to appreciate what they have brought out so far. Major tech changes like what they are working on now, the server meshing kind of components.
Mm-hmm.
Server meshing has already been there in many other technologies, but they are not real time. There is a significant delay between replication of components from one server to other.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to replicate almost in real time, keeping everything synced up so that latencies are minimal, so that people don't experience lags on, let's say, if I shoot a bullet, it should not be like by the time it reaches that person has moved off.
Oh, right. Right, that defeats the whole purpose of...
Yeah, and imagine that with 1,000 people.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah, and not to mention the next star system coming up, the Pyro system.
But is it possible? Is this kind of thing possible?
Yeah, of course it is possible. And the last Pyro test gameplay is a testament to it. They have done very good job with the first initial draft release. I wouldn't say it is polished at all. There were so many glitches, so many UI related problems as well. But they've got to a state which is commendable.
Wow. That's so exciting. My goodness, I can't wait to try it.
Yeah. I the whole idea of traveling from one system to another, and imagine there is like this event where there is sudden there is a gamma ray outburst, a cosmic gamma ray outburst, blocked all the system, like inter-system travel. Like people who are in Pyro cannot come to Stanton or travel to any other star system. They are supposed to be stuck in one system for quite some time, right?
Right.
So that kind of events is what I wish CIG could do. Like some massive events which kind of is disruptive, kind of shakes you down, rattles you down.
Okay, that does make sense. Well said. Okay, wow. So guys, that was Maverick's take on how CIG is going these days. And again, Mav is an expert IT specialist, spent his whole childhood also geeking out on technology, so he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, thanks, Mac.
That was so cool. Oh my goodness. Do you mind if I share that on my channel, what you just said?
Of course. Yeah, feel free. Dude. You don't have to ask me at all. Go ahead.
Wow, thank you. Alright, so a big thanks to Maverick for giving us that expert insight into the inner workings of CIG and this game that we all love, Star Citizen. So, you heard the man. Be optimistic, don't give up, it takes time, let's be patient. Guys, thanks for joining us for this awesome interview, and we'll see you next time. Bye.